Your mind isn't just forgetting things. It is actively hiding them from you, right now, as a feature, not a bug. What you think you know about yourself, about your decisions, about your motivations, is often a carefully edited fiction. Stop. Your brain is a master of deliberate self-deception, meticulously constructing blind spots to protect a version of reality that isn't quite true. In this video, I will show you exactly how this insidious mechanism works and what you can concretely do about it. No abstract theory, no vague platitudes. This is applied behavioral science for your real, complicated life. Imagine for a moment you are playing a game of chess, utterly convinced of your superior strategy, yet entirely unaware of the pieces your opponent has systematically removed from the board. This isn't a metaphor for someone else. It is how your own cognition operates. The foundation of these deliberate blind spots lies in a fundamental metacognitive failure, brilliantly demonstrated by David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger in their 1999 study. They found that people who are least competent in a given area are the most likely to overestimate their own abilities. Not only do they lack the skill, but they also lack the ability to recognize their own incompetence. Think about that for a moment. It is a double curse. Ignorance of the subject, combined with ignorance of that very ignorance. Your brain, in an effort to maintain a coherent self-narrative, often just fabricates competence rather than acknowledging a gap. It smooths over discrepancies, creating a comfortable illusion that you are more adept, more knowledgeable, more rational than you often are. It's a defensive maneuver, keeping uncomfortable truths about your limitations safely out of view. But what if this self-preserving illusion isn't just harmless vanity? What if it is actively preventing you from understanding the real forces shaping your every choice? This isn't merely about mistakenly thinking you are good at chess. This is about a systemic omission of critical information, leaving vast, unseen gaps in your understanding of reality and your place within it. Your brain doesn't just forget, it actively avoids seeking out truths that might challenge its established framework. This is the heart of the deliberate blind spot. You are living, making crucial decisions, navigating relationships, all while being systematically deprived of the full picture by your own mind. Do you recognize this in yourself? Consider a scenario. You are absolutely convinced of a political stance. You consume news, discussions, and arguments that confirm your existing belief. This isn't accidental. It is confirmation bias in action, a cognitive shortcut that Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky meticulously documented in their pioneering work from the 1970s onward. Your mind isn't seeking truth, it is seeking validation. The deliberate blind spot prevents you from even realizing you are only seeing one side. You are not just missing data. You are systematically ignoring the very existence of data that would contradict your internal model. This leads to profound epistemic gaps, areas where your knowledge is not just incomplete, but structurally flawed, because your mind has deliberately kept you ignorant of the missing pieces. What you call a free choice, your brain made 3 seconds before you did, often based on these skewed, incomplete internal models. This isn't a character flaw, this is biology, and it is leaving you vulnerable, not just to your own biases, but to external influences that exploit these exact same mechanisms. So, how do you dismantle these invisible barriers? How do you force your mind to see what it has deliberately hidden? There are 3 research-based techniques that can recalibrate your internal models for genuine autonomy. First, active disconfirmation. Instead of seeking information that confirms your beliefs, consciously seek out the strongest, most compelling arguments against them. Actively look for evidence that proves you wrong. This isn't about changing your mind every 5 minutes, but about strengthening your understanding by rigorously testing its edges. A study by Kunder in 1990 concluded that while motivated reasoning is powerful, people can still process information objectively when explicitly directed to do so. Your expected result? A more robust, nuanced perspective, less susceptible to simplistic narratives. Second, the pre-mortem exercise. Before making any significant decision, imagine it has already failed catastrophically. Then, work backward and list every conceivable reason why it failed. This forces you to anticipate weaknesses, biases, and blind spots you might otherwise ignore. This method, popularized by Gary Klein, leverages prospective hindsight to expose potential flaws before they become reality. You gain foresight into your own cognitive errors, building resilience into your plans. Third, metacognitive journaling. Dedicate 10 minutes daily to reflecting not just on what you thought, but how you thought. Why did I believe that? What evidence did I consider and what did I ignore? What alternative perspectives exist? This consistent, deliberate practice trains your brain to monitor its own processes, gradually revealing its hidden biases. Research on metacognition by Flavio in 1979 highlighted the importance of self-monitoring for learning and problem-solving. Over time, you build a powerful internal auditor, turning deliberate blind spots into areas of deliberate insight. You now understand that the most profound manipulation isn't from some external force. It is the insidious, often well-intentioned self-deception woven into the fabric of your own consciousness. You are no longer merely a participant in your thoughts. You are an observer of the architecture that generates those thoughts, flaws and all. You will see others through this lens, understanding their certainties as often symptoms of their own deliberate blind spots, not necessarily malicious intent. And you will see yourself, not as a perfectly rational agent, but as a mind in constant negotiation with its own elaborate self-preservations. This isn't about judging. It is about genuinely comprehending the intricate, often frustrating, true nature of human cognition. This new vision, though sometimes uncomfortable, is the first step toward genuine intellectual freedom. This is just the surface of what your mind is capable of hiding. To truly rewire how you see yourself and everyone around you, you need to arm yourself with the insights that behavioral science provides weekly. Subscribe to MindAutopsy. This channel isn't about merely learning facts, it is about forging a new operating system for your mind. Next week, we dissect the illusion of control, how your brain systematically overestimates your agency, leaving you vulnerable to chaos. You need to understand this.